everyone. Do you think they miss our startup song?
I think that they might, because when I listened back to our podcast, it was so aggressive, the hello. It was like,
So Shannon Ford does it this way, right? Like there's no music. She just like, hello everyone. She kind of goes to it. Are you still listening to her?
yeah.
Oh, my phone is doing this thing where and it happens here and there. I thought it only happened in my car when I plug in. I thought my plug was, you know how you always use the old plug in your car and it has like tape around it because you're like kind of using it ish. Anyways, I the podcast starts and then stops like within like 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds it stops, and then you have to press like play again, and then it plays and then it stops. I thought it was our podcast that was doing that, but it was doing that at any podcast that I was trying to listen to. So maybe it is Spotify. Jeff was like, you should do like no, Spotify. Yeah, I always make Spotify and Shopify.
They're very similar.
Too similar. I would be upset. I don't know which one was first, but I'd be like, are you serious right now?
That's interesting, actually.
Like it's very close, and both are very high in my life right now. You know what?
Yes.
Both regularly.
Yes.
I get confused.
Yes.
It's like Porsche and porch. Is it the same?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I need to say both in my head before I say one out loud. It's like FOMO
Okay.
and mofo. So many great examples right now.
You're nailing it.
Anyway, so I couldn't listen to her podcast, but she has a new one. So I don't know if you saw it. It came out yesterday and it's like an hour long. And I was like, so with Claudia, someone, I don't know who they are. But they sound fancy.
It wasn't my favorite episode.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. I mean, we only like episodes where she talks about the sex that she has and just all the things that she does.
She's wild. Tell me then. So what's happening with your phone? Are you going to try and use your Apple? What are you going to use Shopify? How are you going to listen to podcasts?
So what I'm going to do is Jeff said, just like get rid of the app completely. I even restarted my phone. I closed the app. Like I did all the things, and it's like, maybe you just have to like get rid of the app and start over. But I'm like, but this is not the first time. And it like kind of does it when it feels like it wants to do it. At least I could listen to music. But like, I'd like to listen to it today if I go for a walk to podcast. So I don't know what's happening. And it might even work. And also there's this link between when it does that to when I'm connected to something. Cause I listened to, Kelly Casperson's podcast all morning, Put Problem, just listening from my phone. So it's
okay.
Connected to something. So either it connected like this or connected to my earphones. So there's definitely a connection thing there. So that's why I'm like, I feel like it's maybe not the app and it's just the connection of something. We know nothing about connections. Holy shit, you guys. Technology is going to, you know, in that interview when he asked what keeps you up at night? Technology. Be alive keeps me up at night. Is what I should.
When you're like, why are you so cranky every Wednesday? I think I'm cranky because every Wednesday we're fucking figuring out how to record our podcast. And it's just like every time I feel like, okay, we got it. This is it. Like my sound sucks, then your sound sucks, then the internet sucks, and now we're on a phone. And I'm like, what? Now there's triple. Like, why?
What exactly? We don't know why, but I feel like this might be it. I cannot wait to listen to my sound today and your sound today because I like up the thing, my phone. I think it's all good. And you know what? No one says anything. They're just there to listen. They're just. I feel like this is the best. This is how it gets. This is all we have to give.
I feel like we've been saying that for like. I feel like a year ago we would go back and be like, "This is it.
This is it." I think we got it.
Can you hear my children in the background?
No, we can't hear your children. Stop being annoyed by your children. They're fine. They're doing nothing. Hear nothing. And even if we heard them, like frig, Cat and Nat, the children come and she's like, I'm doing a podcast. You know what I mean? Like they're at the window while they're podcasting. They're everywhere. How's it going? So right now summer's just started. Dia's sleeping in. I'm like, she's really in summer mode. 7:45 this morning.
Who would have ever thought?
Not me. No one would have ever thought that from Dia, but she's going to bed at like 8:30 every night now. That's like her summer bedtime, and I'm like okay with it.
Oh yeah, it's I think that's still probably early compared to a lot of kids her age. going to bed because it's so light out and they're like doing stuff.
Yes. And we're not there yet. Well, I'm not there yet where people say it's like 10 p.m. and you're like, oh shit, are the kids still up? You don't even know where they are. Like, I'm not there yet. Like,
No.
I definitely know where my kids are and what time it is and go to bed. But that's going to be our life. And apparently, the next step to our freedom, Alicia, is when our oldest is 11 or 12 and can watch the other ones. I feel like that, like, it depends. Like, do you think Alfie will watch the girls? Like, do you think, I think all three, there's three of them and they're so close to age. And then there's Phoebe that's like really mature and like, she's got this, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that it would be fine. Like once he gets like
Yeah.
11, 12, we obviously won't go far or won't go for long or whatever, but
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's definitely, at least it's legal. That really,
yeah.
that's all, right?
I mean, I barely like to let them like bike to their friend's house, five houses down right now.
Yeah, you're definitely more like that. I am not, but like you're definitely more like and I sometimes have to like be like, is this what I just did? Was that safe? Probably not. I'm definitely like that for sure. Oh my God.
I think of every scenario that they could die.
Yes. Yeah.
And my mom makes fun of me all the time. And
Okay.
then my parent, like she thinks I'm just ridiculous as a parent. And then my mom's like, I'm going to take the kids tubing. My kids just came home yesterday. They spent 2 nights at my parents'. My mom's like, we're going to take them tubing. And I was like, I feel really uncomfortable about all of this. And
I
there was like,
were talking to me about the tubing. She's like, oh, my mom wants to take the kids tubing. I'm like, that's fucking incredible. Like, you don't have to like, do you have to go? Because I know you don't like any water activities is not your strength.
just more like activities, really.
Other than bar hopping.
Exactly. So my mom takes them. Okay. There's so many questions. Do they need life jackets? What size are their feet? We need water shoes. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I know that my mom's going to make fun of me, but I'm thinking of them and I might, thankfully, my brother went as well.
Okay.
So I text my brother and I'm like, is everyone alive? And he is like, barely. And I was like, what do you mean? So it was really windy, not yesterday, the day before.
It was really windy.
So they drop this company just drops them off in the middle of nowhere. Luckily, my brother's like a fisherman. Okay. So he has like a bag that keeps your phone dry and he brings it with him. Luckily, he's there.
Okay.
He has 2 kids attached to them because his daughter and Piper. My mom has Phoebe. My dad has Alfie. They're attached. No one is going in the right direction. My mom has to hop in the water and like swim.
Yeah.
My brother like takes the kids and gets them on this island. My dad apparently didn't bring any water and he can't swallow. He's so thirsty. Imagine how mad my mom is at my dad in this moment. Like he's in trouble.
So how was how does your mom describe this event? Was it fun? Was it, or
No, like it ended. Like they had to call the company to come like save them on this island. Like it not success. Fail. Ma. Do not do again. Danger.
oh my gosh. Is this in Fredericton?
Yes.
Okay, I've never heard of tubing in Fredericton. I've heard of tubing in Miramichi and I've gone, but not Fredericton. I don't know what it looks like or what's their deal. That's funny.
And one of my nightmares is getting lost. And there was like more than one route to go.
Yes. Yeah, you definitely have something about getting lost.
Huge fears.
Huge fears. Like even like little things like getting lost in Moncton or like in a parking.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm like, it's gonna be fun. Like you just talk to people and whatever. But like, no, it's definitely one of your things. But I think that's that there's 2 fears. There's the getting lost and then the kids. You're also very fearful of your kids being hungry. It's like very like, what if they're hungry? What if no one offers them a snack? And I'm like, oh my God, people will survive. I don't know if they're hungry.
Yeah, I feel like as they're a little bit older now. Now that they're older, I'm not as intense about that.
Yeah, I know. And you're not the only one, of course. Oh my God. Okay, so hopefully podcast will work and things will be good in terms of like, as in I can listen to it. Okay, wait. This should be fun. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay. So I wanted to know when this was coming out, right? Because we're trying to get a little bit ahead here, guys. Alicia's heading to England, which is super exciting. And when you say the dates, it's like, holy mac, like you're gone like a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's next
Yeah.
level. And I really like it for you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to follow all of your journeys on the Instagram. Okay, so everyone wants to know the update on Neil.
I mean,
purchasing a Lion King tickets. Has the eagle landed?
the eagle has landed.
Okay.
We will only celebrate when we actually go there and sit on the correct date and at our seats all together.
But I listened to our
But
podcast.
for sure, there was a large purchase.
You said that the purchase was always made together, so you had to like he was gonna have to go see you, the supervisor, and then you were going to accept.
He basically sat beside me the whole time, and then he was like panicked because I guess like you can buy the tickets from different websites. So I guess kind of like a flight, like you could buy it through Air Canada, but you could buy it. So same thing with these tickets.
Yes, absolutely. There's
So he
third
gets like
party.
the whole way through the process and he's like, I don't like this website. I feel really uncomfortable. What if this is a scam and they take my credit card? And I was like, and at this point he had like, then he tried to do something and didn't work and then it timed out on him.
Nah.
No joke. Then we get to the end and it won't take his credit card.
Okay.
No, this was actually real. I stepped in at this point. It took my credit card. I don't know why I didn't take his because we have the same credit card. Maybe because he like literally doesn't ever make any purchases. So it was like a fraud thing.
It could be. I mean, we've had issues like that where I'm like, I don't know. We wanted to buy Disney tickets and like my credit card wasn't working. Tried another credit card, it worked. So like, and there was nothing wrong with my credit card. So like, sometimes it does that.
Yeah.
Corny.
Anyway, so we do have tickets to Lion King.
Oh my God. Okay, so is everyone going? It's like obviously the kids and Neil's brother and his husband and Neil's parents as well.
Correct.
That's fun.
The gang is all there. So we're going to stay in London. Yeah, it'll be really fun. So we're staying in London for one night, maybe two. There's so much to see and do.
And we all know one night when you check in, you can only check in at 4 p.m. and you have to check out at 11 a.m. Like that, you just slept. You know what I mean? It's hard.
And it's not it's not far though. Like to get on the train to go from where Neil's parents live is 45 minutes to London.
Okay. Oh man, that whole world.
You know what I mean?
That I know nothing about it, and I'm like, I'm not too late. I'm not too old to know more about not just like London in that sense, but like I just love how there's like, oh, it's a 30-minute flight to Barcelona to the thing, and then it's like another 30-minute flight. Like Jeff's mom lives in put Dublin. Not Jeff's mom. Wow, Jeff's mother, Samarin, godmother. And she is like, oh, I'm just a 30-minute flight to Barcelona, 30-minute flight to Paris, and like I'm just like, oh my God, imagine having access like. The easiest access to a big city that we have is like Halifax. Like it's like so quick, you know what I mean? It's just a 45-minute flight to Halifax. I don't know. I'm like just that world, just being there. If I didn't have kids, I think I would like go for like a month and just like travel and like visit, you know what I mean? And go from place to place. Those kids, those darn kids.
Yeah, it is amazing because everything is so they ruined everything. Everything is so close. So you can see so much in such a short period of time.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So today we're talking about summer systems. Summer systems. I feel like maybe my sound is like lacking.
I felt like we talked about this last. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I don't know. We were supposed to, but we never got to it. I have that written down.
I think we talked about it at the very end. Well, let's talk about summer systems. Have you started any?
No. I was thinking maybe we could go through almost like how to find your way in the summer. That content that we're doing with our within our membership. Just like quickly go through like those like 4 categories that we think that people should look into to really create their best summer life or their summer system to feel successful this summer.
That's fun. Let's do it.
Okay, so the four categories are calorie intake, calorie burning. So those like kind of like those are two different things that you need to take into account when you're creating your system. How will you put something in place for your calorie intake? How will you put something in place for your calorie burning? And then your lifestyle in the summer, that needs to be obviously taken into account when you're creating your summer way. And then mindset. So like that summer noise. And that's going to be our next podcast, Leash, just talking a little bit about what summer noise looks like. But yeah, those four categories, you guys, I think would be, it would be interesting if you kind of sat there and you went through how will you feel successful with your intake? How will you feel successful with your out? Can you say outtake? Is that a word?
Output.
Output. I like that. Okay. So the first one we talked about is just like having a calendar, talking about what we have planned and in betweens. Let's have a conversation about in betweens.
Yeah, so sometimes we clump, summer or even a day all in one. So if we have a supper out, we think, oh, that day's a write-off, and then we just wake up and eat like an asshole all day because we're going for a supper. I used to do that all the time, and then I wasn't even hungry when it came to my nice supper, which is so frustrating.
Actually, my gosh, we should talk about hunger. That was like a hot topic yesterday on my Ask Me Anything.
They always want to talk more about it. Maybe we can add that whatever podcast comes out next.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. And today we could talk about summer noise and how like, we could like come that together and switch that. I like that. Because we can definitely talk about hunger. Because people are really afraid of hunger. I see that in their comments. There's like they really don't have a good relationship with hunger. They're worried about being hungry. They definitely feel like they'll be hungry if they need to be hungry to lose weight, yet recognizing that like the hunger is a part of everyone's life, not just people that are trying to lose weight. So we'll talk about that on our next podcast. So yeah, let's keep going and talk about calorie intake. Now, one of the things that I think people don't, again, it's that daily check-in of like, what do I have access to today? And it's that language that people don't have from the diet industry, is that it's either all or nothing. So usually summer, what that would mean, nothing. You have access to nothing. You have access to no weight loss at all. People just seem to think that their lifestyle will for sure equal surplus. And but it definitely doesn't have to be to the extreme that you're probably bringing it because of the in-betweens.
That's the thing is when you're thinking surplus, we want to remind you that the amount of surplus you're creating absolutely matters. It's not just like there's a check on your body on the calendar says surplus or a deficit day. It's like it's literally plus 3,000 minus 400 plus 1,300. Like it's literally, I mean, if we could see it, that's what it would say.
Absolutely. And I agree, because I think that people are trying to understand calorie deficit and calorie surplus as this like it has one look.
Yes.
And I think that if you can really deeply understand that it's a range, like being in a deficit is a range, but also understanding that piece is step one. But also understanding a surplus as well is a range.
Absolutely. So we would love for you guys, how we recommend that you create a system to help with your calories in is print a calendar. Print a calendar, write all your little fun dates in there. Every single day, wake up and say, like, what does today look like? What do I have access to today? How can I don't want to say manage, but like manage my calories in today.
Yeah. The one, okay, I was just like checking Podbean just to make sure we didn't talk about summer. And what would happened, we were supposed to talk about summer. That's what we were supposed to talk about. But the podcast that came out was about my snacks. Because we got into like people like being like, how do you eat and what is your snack? We got into that conversation. So that's how we ended that podcast. That's why. And Alicia's so right. Like I think you said something where the you have a controlled surplus. So, and the questions I'm getting from people, it's always like, but what about those times where you overeat? How do you turn things around? I'm like, understand that being in a surplus, like you're not always in a deficit, I think is what needs to be said here.
Yes.
You're not
Yes.
always in a deficit while losing weight. So being in a surplus is a part of being in a deficit. Almost like certain days are surplus days, and I think people think that they always need to be in a deficit, and that's the part where you're like, holy mac, like how am I going to create my life if I always need to be in a deficit? And
I mean,
yeah,
and if you think about it, that's how a lot of diets have worked in the past. It's
you're
deficit, 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 and large deficit. And then maybe even depending on the diet you're on, you get a cheat day. So you get
right.
your epic surplus day there, and then deficit, deficit, deficit. So people are used to being hungry and being on a deficit every single day. They think that's what they need to do for 30 days or whatever.
And I think that another damaging that's kind of traumatic, but still, or dramatic, sorry. But another damaging thought is that you think you label certain days just by the name of the day of what it should be. Like, so
Yes.
Saturday is a surplus day. No, it's only a surplus day if you make it a surplus day.
Yeah.
Monday is a calorie deficit day. No, it is if you make it. And that you actually have access to being in a calorie deficit on a Saturday. And you have access to being in a surplus on a Monday. So I do think that there's that labeling as well in terms of like what day it is. There's a lot of labeling in society when you think about it, like time you eat, what time you should eat, what it should look like, and also just like how you should be behaving on certain days of the week as well.
Yeah, and we'll add that to like our your system guys for calories in. If you could create a system this summer when you didn't eat like an asshole just because it was Saturday, if you didn't eat just because you felt like you should because it was breakfast time, if you only ate when you were hungry, if you didn't follow the traditional rules. So let's say you want a huge ice cream and you are like, you can eat that for supper. Like, don't feel like you have to eat like chicken and vegetables and all this stuff and then go eat your huge ice cream. Like, you can go eat your huge ice cream. So that's part of our systems in the summer for calories in is no rules about what we're eating when we're eating it.
Yeah, so someone asked about like, help, what do you do about the snacks on a boat? And I'm like, PJ, like it's like help. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like snacks are a part of like, so like for me, why that could be your meal, that can be it's just food. And I see a lot when I do ask me anything and I'm like, what do you need help with, it all like doesn't even matter what they're asking help with. I see that they could benefit from having a better relationship with just food in general, whether it's
Yeah.
the snack on the boat or it's the food at the wedding or it's the I'm hungry and I want to eat but it's not time for supper. Like just better relationship with food altogether, and not seeing certain foods need to be not only are we labeling, but we're labeling certain foods need to be eaten on certain days at a certain time. Imagine la confusion. Like there's
Yeah.
just so many rules, like Alicia said. So if for calorie intake, cut les rules, no
Yeah.
rules. So as in no rules where you need to binge on Saturday. Like that's what you do when you diet. Like this is not what we're doing. And I think that is a huge stress reliever. And we also wrote portions. Portions is huge in the summer. I actually use that method a lot because I want to eat all the things. I want to eat the high calorie foods.
Yeah.
So I do really look into more portions than maybe I do in the winter because I
Yeah.
don't have access to like I don't usually have all the time access to high calorie foods.
Yeah, access to it all the time and that frequently, right?
Frequently, exactly.
And as much as you guys, Jose saying, I want to have all the things, and she can, but she also wants to not create a massive surplus. And
Yeah,
she's allowed to want that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, what about calories out?
The calories out is pretty easy. So having a movement plan, but mostly it's not like I'm gonna walk 5 times or I'm gonna go to the gym or whatever. It's mostly just realizing if you do value movement in the summer and what kind of movement. And we do use our words quite specifically where we say movement and not exercise, because I think that exercise has been like kind of like seen as like it needs to be intense, you need to be sweating, you need to be hurting. Whereas movement is just literally valuing movement, and that would include your NEAT as well. I know that exercise does not include NEAT, but I think if we just see movement, I'd like to move my body a little bit more.
Yes.
It's less, again, say, plus stress relief. Like if I can just really benefit from walking to the mailbox or, walking to the park instead of driving, there's just so much that it can really add up.
It can really add up. So start to look at your own life and look at places in your life that it would fit, it would make sense to add some movement, like small, easy ways. And maybe like every Sunday, I'm going to garden for 2 hours. Like that
Yeah.
counts.
All right, next up is lifestyle. So in betweens matter. Press play every day. So that's definitely what we would recommend our members. So I think that in terms of lifestyle, if you want to you want to show up as you want to, I would consider joining your weight loss, so that is your accountability. That's your way to be able to stay connected to you wanted to in calorie intake and calorie out, like, you know what I mean, like that's how it keeps you connected. Because it's all good that you say like, I'm gonna have a, I'm gonna look at my portions, I'm going to move my body, I'm going to follow no rules, but you need that language consistently. So we definitely highly recommend that you join your weight loss, so that we can keep you connected to who you said you wanted to be. And that's what we do. That's our work, right? It's to help people. We don't tell them who they want to be. We help them stay connected to who they said they wanted to be.
Exactly. And I know that summer can feel like an odd time to be working on who you said you wanted to be, but next summer, guys, you will have you still want to be you. So basically, when we say lifestyle, we want you to start creating systems that make it easier for you to show up as who you said you wanted to be. And taking in content that supports that is definitely one of them. But there's other things like that you guys can think about in your own lives, like totally not related to weight loss. Like for me, I want to read every day with the summer in the summer with the kids. So what will be my system to include that in my lifestyle?
Yeah.
How can I make that easy? How can I make that enjoyable and accessible? That's how you create a new habit.
Yeah. And I think that because we're so focused on the who greater than the what, like what you look like, what you're doing is really who you want to be. You have a who you want to be in the summer. Like you have a who I want to be, the type of person I want to be in the summer is a lifestyle, is a type of person. And then who I want to be in the middle of winter, and who I want to be in September with small kids. Like it just, you always have, if you always keep chasing being who you want to be, it also includes summer. Like you can't just like, I don't want to be no one in the summer. I just want to be a potato on the couch. Like, no one says that, right? You want to be fun. You want to be, you want to feel like you're not feeling always stuffed. You want to feel in control. I think that's definitely a feeling that many can relate to, just en control. And then the mindset, that's our whole work that we do at Your Weight Loss is just making sure that you realize that you can't F this up, that you did nothing wrong, that you're the boss. And, we definitely, one of our main strategies is not labeling any days, not labeling the whole summer as this like one thing. Every single day you have access to whatever. You have access to a deficit, you have access to a surplus, you have access to, movement, whether you choose to or not, and recognizing that you have that control.
And really working on your mindset around food. So, not labeling food as bad, because there's a lot of summer food that is considered bad, right?
Yes.
S'mores, chips, hot dogs, burgers, beer, like ice cream. It's like bad. So, let's really work this summer on our mindset around labeling food.
Mhm.
Also, we are all wearing a lot less clothing, so let's work on our mindset and how we're speaking about our bodies. We're working a lot right now within our membership with our members on how they speak about their bodies, and that's all mindset work. And specifically summer mindset work.
Absolutely, c'est vrai ça. And it definitely aligns very well with the impact we want to have in people's lives, is really trying to make them realize that they should be focused on who they want to be and not what they look like. And so that mindset, or that way of speaking about your life, about you, definitely helps you not focus so much on what you look like and always about, body image. So, you know what? I got a really nice message last night, Leash. Someone said, you know what? I might not be losing weight, but man, you guys are helping me love my body way more. And I'm like, mission accomplished. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, I just love following you guys. Just following you guys makes me love me more. And I'm like, that is what we do at the end of the day, because I truly believe that not everyone needs to lose weight to be who they want to be. I do believe that if you live in a body that is limiting you from living a fuller life, you deserve to live the life experiences that you would like to live. But I do believe that some people aren't living life experiences because they are the ones stopping them, not their bodies. So there's that distinction there that you need to work on.
That was very well said. That was very well said.
30 minutes. We rocked it.
No problem.
Great day, everyone. Remember to follow us on Instagram. That's where you see all of our personal lives daily, especially on our personal Instagram. So Jose Alicia _ your weight loss. I mean, you can find us, you know where to find us. And we're obviously keeping you inspired through summer on our Instagram, your weight loss as well. TikTok, you know where to find us. Sign email as well to get all the juicy details of our blog emails and to be caught up with your weight loss, and also our tickets for our Choose You event. They're out, so you can either join us virtually. It's a really highly produced event, so it's like a talk show. It's not this like Facebook live. It's definitely more produced than this podcast, everyone.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. That's where I spend my money, Leash, is like a highly produced show, not the podcast.
Oh gosh.
So you guys can watch us virtually. It's going to be a blast, or you can join us at the Capitol Theater in Moncton as well. So go and ask us if you're looking for tickets. DM us. We got you. All right, everyone. Peace.
Bye, guys.